Okay.
Hey guys, this is Matt and Paul. We're going to do a Puzzle Rush survival today. We're going to set a timer for 20 minutes. And if we get 3 puzzles wrong or the 20 minutes are up, then we're going to stop. My record for this is 48. We're going to start out alternating puzzles, and as soon as we start to slow down, we'll help each other out.
You want me to put the timer on?
You can if you want. I got one set too.
I started it.
Okay.
Rook takes E8, check.
All right, so we got a free piece
Queen takes D1, mate.
and a checkmate. All right, this one's another free piece. We're forking the king and bishop.
Oh, I should say that stuff. This looks like a back ranker. Well, because the pawn guards F2, so rook to A1 check. Rook will block. Rook will take rook.
Yeah, there's a lot of back rank puzzles early on. So here we see bishop and queen both hitting F7. So we can take F7, and then this is sort of a back rank checkmate, queen to F8.
Okay, here we're looking at queen. So here the knight does a good job of guarding D2. So we go with a queen to D2 check first. The king's got to move to B1, and then you have that same semi-back rank mate of queen to D1.
Very nice. Oh, exposed king. We got the rook coming down the H file. Queen points to H5. So this is going to be a queen-rook battery. And the second move is a checkmate because our pawn on G5 guards F6.
All right, so this is the rook does a good job of keeping the king off the 6th rank. And the interesting part, so then here what we have is we have G4 checks. It forces the king to H4, and then we have the rook taking H6 for the mate.
Yeah, so this king is sort of in a mating net because the rook is trapping it from behind. Oh, looks like a back rank.
Oh, must be a back rank. Well, yeah, this is a back rank. Oh, this is you. Go ahead.
Well, so there is that bishop to block, though, so we got to think about that. So it's a bit more difficult than the typical back rank. So I think what we're going to have to do is check. Bishop blocks. Rook takes bishop. King takes, and then the queen performs the back rank in the end.
And this is a very common theme, right? When the queen can get 2 squares from the king, and the king is blocked in from the side, and you know what I mean, the diagonal.
Yeah, she covers one diagonal, one next to it, right?
Yeah, correct. Okay, this is the king is kind of a smothered mate with a knight to D3. If you look at it, because the pawn is pinned because of our queen, so then the knight to D3, king can't move. It's GG.
GG, checkmate. GG, yo. All right, so here we got this diagonal opened up for a check. Queen can access. And we have the bishop cutting through this diagonal. Almost always these tactics are going to be a queen check followed by picking off this pawn on E5, which is another check.
And then,
yes, so we were checking the king and forking the rook in the corner. So now we can pick up the rook.
Good job, rookie. All right, why does this feel like a back rank? Oh, this is even more exciting. So this is a very common one with the bishop in the corner aimed at H1. You use this to get the rook. Now, obviously, so rook to D1, king has to go to H2, and then when rook goes to H1, the other rook does a good job of keeping the king off the 3rd rank, so it's a mate.
Very nice tactic. All 3 pieces working together.
Well, it's a 700 rated tactic, so.
True. 743. Well, here it looks like we have to take the rook. I'm not sure what else the first move could be. All right, now this pawn is 1, 2, 3 moves from queening. We're 1, 2, 3 moves. So then we go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So then what we have to figure out is we queen, they queen, and what do we do at that point? It looks like we could somehow set up a skewer by checking this king. The king has to move, check it again. King has to move and pick up their queen in the end. You agree with that one?
It's funny. I didn't even think about that. I was thinking about the king can get in to stop the pawn, at least get a B8 and let our pawn go king. Because if you look at the diagonal check, like the pawn on the diagonal to E8, the king can step into that same what do you always call that?
Yeah, get into the box. There might be an issue though, because if we run the king first and they run their king, we lose the chance of this check from behind, and we didn't gain any progress stopping their pawn because I think their king is just in time
you're right.
to help out.
Good boy.
So that could end up being a draw if we can't win their queen.
I would have gotten this puzzle wrong then.
Well, and a lot of times we're used to doing puzzles closer to our ratings, and your solution would be the answer, where it's like you got to take the effort to move the king first, not do the obvious pawn push.
Oh, this one is I already see this one as knight takes knight, because now the rook is being attacked and he has to recover the knight. So if he takes the knight with queen, we take his rook. If he takes our rook, we take it with queen, and we're defending the knight after that.
That looks right.
Knight takes f5. Now we take rook.
Winning a knight. This is a weird looking opening. Why is that f pawn missing? So it's like a king's... Oh, this d pawn's gone too. All right, it's like a king's gambit. We've seen this theme before. So we check here. Black will block with g6. Then we check from e5, forking the king and rook.
Same one as before. All right, this situation. We have a pretty obvious queen check. King's got to move. And then we have the bishop coming in. Although he can take the pawn. Oh. No. So.
I think you're on the right path.
Okay, so queen takes, king d7, bishop e6, king has to take d6. Oh, then bishop f4, king is mated.
Yeah, and usually there's not a bishop f4 in these type of tactics. Slight wrinkle. Oh, this king is completely trapped. Guarded, guarded, guarded. Yeah, the king is completely trapped. This is a checkmate in one, Paul.
GG?
Yeah.
All right. I immediately feel that my initial instinct is bishop h6 check. And the reason being is he's got to either take it with the rook. Yeah, that's the answer. But it's take it with the rook, queen check. If queen blocks, it's mate. If king goes to g8, rook takes rook with check, queen has to take queen g7 mate.
Very nice. So we're deflecting that queen away by taking the rook.
Yeah.
Again, this king is almost trapped. He has one square.
That's a very common theme. That's a very, very common theme. Nope. Oh, you're right, because the queen is on d7 guarding. I didn't even see that.
Oh, yeah. I was confused at first, too. So queen g4, their queen takes.
Yeah.
So I think we have to use that bishop.
Yep, you do.
Is this a mate in one? Looks like it.
I think so.
We're getting a lot of mate in ones at the higher ratings.
Yes, sir. Let's think here.
One thing that we're internalizing, I think, on a lot of these puzzles is you look at the material count at some point. You know, on the easier tactics, you just look for mates and forks and things, but at some point you have to think we're down a lot.
All right, so ideally, queen c2 is the answer. And the reason being is you have the big king basically boxed in then, and there's no way to block the queen from getting the g2. So what do? And there's no other checks. There's no checks for white that are good. I mean, yeah, you can sack the queen. That's about it.
Yeah, that's a really good point that there's no checks for white. So there's not really anything that white's going to do to us. There's their check.
Now they're going to do that. Yeah, GG.
All right, this one almost looks like a back ranker again, and I think it is. So we're going to check. They have to block. Now we also have this rook on f1 eyeing the f8 square. So I think what we need next is a queen check. And if their king goes to the corner, rook takes f8 will be mate. If the other rook comes back to block, we could do queen takes this rook, and it's going to be mate because that guy is pinned. So it's a forced mate sequence using the back rank and this diagonal.
Okay. 2 queens for black. Oh. And 2 queens for white.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Our initial rook gut reaction was queen h8 check. King has 1 move. Not 1 move, actually, 2 moves. There, if they go to g4, queen h3 mate. If they go to g6, then I would do queen e to h6 check, king to f7, queen to f8 mate.
Looks good to me. So what did we start with? This check, right?
Yep, that check. Oh!
I missed it too. We're in check. Okay, guys, this is why yeah. All right.
So king h2, there are no other. Oh no, there's a fork. Oh shoot, there's a fork.
Oh, we have the rook to come back and block. Is that the answer? Is it just rook back?
Wait. So then we can't take the rook. We can't take the queen on b1. So here, what about queen h8 check again? Then king to g6. We can't do our queen to h6 check anymore.
I feel like on this one we need to just do this because it's going to stop short.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's not going to make us solve it all the way through. Yeah.
Oh. That's stupid.
It was going to be something where we like trade off one of the queens and then we're up in the end, I think. Okay, so this one, I don't see any checkmate threats for black. They are threatening to take our knight, though. So do we move the knight or do we take the pawn? Moving the knight looks pretty good because this queen is low on squares. We're attacking and we're threatening this fork. And the queen cannot guard the pawn being forked because everything is covered. You agree?
Yep.
Oh, so they sacrifice the queen.
Sick.
Good luck. You're down a queen.
All right. So, yeah, g5 check. King has 1 move, and then this is one of those queen h3 check ideas where the king is basically trapped.
So it's like a back rank turn 90 degrees, but then also, again, we see this theme. It's a mating net. So whenever you're in an endgame, look to cut off your opponent's king from behind, and also try to avoid getting your king cut off from behind because that creates these kind of mating nets. Ooh, 1 square from queening.
Oh, I love these ones.
We have this check, which looks pretty good. So I think it's going to be check here. They're going to move their king up because if they take, we can make a queen. And then it's going to be us taking the rook. They take our rook. And now we need to figure out how do we get this pawn to queen.
Very easily.
Rook back to check, which is sacrifice, and then make a queen. And we'll take the knight.
You get all the easy ones. I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
Man, bishop c8 just jumped out at me immediately. Oh, I guess the same thing. But no, because we can't take the knight because you have a queen barreling down to h7 for mate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we can't even not take the knight. Oh, yeah, we can't. Oh, no, we can't. Shoot.
Is this just going to be queen takes knight?
Yes, it's queen just takes knight.
It just doesn't want you to take with the knight. That's the whole puzzle.
Correct. That's all it is.
Very nice.
By the way, there's no way we're getting 48 if we always talk about these things. We have 6 minutes left.
We could extend to 5 minutes. We're doing extra explanation.
All right.
Are you extending yours 5 minutes now, or do you want to wait?
Oh, you want me to? Yeah, I'll
sure.
do that. Let's go to 12 minutes. Let's go to 11 minutes.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
Why do I get the hard ones? Okay, so material looks even. I don't see any big threats for white. So we got that clear. This knight is low on squares. That really stands out to me. It can't retreat to any of these 3 squares, and it can't come forward. So I think the answer is just this. Taking here doesn't help because our pawn will guard d3.
All right. Oh, man. Bishop d4 immediately jumps out. Yeah, and here's why. If knight takes, queen takes f1 mate because the bishop is that's what led me to this. If queen takes, you just win the queen for the bishop.
So that's really
and
nice.
If king moves to h1, it's queen takes rook mate.
Very nice tactic. I missed that the a6 bishop was helping out there.
I didn't even see that part. That's true though.
I mean, that's not really that great of a defense. We just take, right?
Yeah.
Because they just lost a whole rook. All right, we're down a queen for rook and knight.
And that's what by the way, on high level puzzles, what we do is we always count material first. On the easy, low ones, we're like, whatever.
Right, yeah. So, and Jesse wrote a pretty good blog post about this too. Like, check material count and then check your opponent's threats are kind of the first 2 things. And then you start to look for checks and captures. But yeah, like Paul said, on the easy ones, it doesn't matter as much. So I want to do knight attack the queen because I don't see any good threats for white there. Well, I guess they could take this pawn. But then we get knight e3 check. And if the king goes backwards at all, we're actually checkmating.
Yeah.
So knight here, queen takes pawn, knight e3 check. If the king runs out, what do we do there? It looks like we can do rook here, attack their queen and threaten mate.
And there's no checks. There's no good checks for the queen after that.
Yeah, and the rook and knight are really powerful together with these type of tactics. Yes.
Let's see here. A lot of stuff going on. Knight c4 jumps out at me. The queen's got to go back to e1. But then what do we do from there? We could do knight to e3. That just seems boring. Why are you taking that piece? If the bishop could come out, the f8 bishop could come out, that'd be a lot of fun right now.
Yeah, he's so bad.
Then we could easily mate him. I think knight c4 is the first move, though.
Yeah, I agree. Queen e1. And I think we got to get after this b2 pawn.
So, okay. Then you don't want to do like an e5 move or e6 move?
It's probably a decent move, but we had something quicker.
So take then we just do, that's what it is. Queen b4.
Yeah, there's no way to defend this pawn, so they got to push, and then what?
And then queen a3, king b1, queen b2 mate.
So they gave us their knight instead.
Yep. And then they push the g pawn. It's whatever.
GG. Oh, this one looks tough. Okay, so we are down a rook. And we have 3 options to take this bishop.
We have to watch for back rank here.
Yes, we don't want to get back rank mated.
The thing I like about in a game, I like taking the bishop with the rook because they have to not have to move the queen because we just have a discovered check coming.
That's my first instinct here too. I think if we take with bishop, we don't have a great follow-up.
And the queen only has c7 to go to. So all you need to do is rook d7, discover check, winning the rook, winning the king, winning the queen, whatever it's called.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Let's look at that line. So rook takes, queen c7.
Where's queen go? Queen there, check.
Yep. And
Queen's
queen
got to move.
Yeah.
Not only queen's got to move, we might actually be able to get more material because when you're taking it with the, I think it's the right move.
Yeah, we could almost do, depending on what they did, like a different capture, but here we get the queen. Was that one your puzzle or mine? I forget.
I don't remember. Why don't you go?
Okay. I think the last
No, that
one
was yours.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
yours.
it was. Because I remember counting the material.
So I like that bishop on e7 being loosely guarded by the queen. So I was thinking bishop d4 looked pretty good. Queen, yeah, but queen's the problem is his queen can go to g5, still defending. No, it can't go to, oh yeah, it can. I can take his queen, bishop takes, and that's not that great. So is there a way to do like, is there some sort of like bishop h7 check? Get the king out, queen h5 check. If king's got to go back to g8. I don't think we have anything after that.
I'm not seeing the answer yet.
You're not either? All right, good. Let's see here.
Oh, now I see it. We need to use this loose bishop in combination with the h7 square. The way we do that is going to be a queen e4, but we got to get the move order right.
Oh. And then we got to attack his queen.
So start with this, queen moves here, and then...
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. Take?
Take it, because then he takes back, you take the bishop for free.
And that's something in a game you want to have all those lines worked out, but sometimes with Puzzle Rush, the computer will surprise you because you don't know everything.
Yeah, I always screw those up.
So this one we are down 1 pawn. We have this option to take their queen, though.
If you take, that's exactly the right move. Well, the pawn could take.
Rook here. Rook here.
That's bad news bears.
Queen here.
Okay.
It's possibly the answer. Because I kind of feel like if we're not taking queen, then what are we doing? Like, it almost feels like it has to be taking the queen, but then figuring out how to stop this attack.
Okay.
This is going to be our first one wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but... Because it can't really be anything else here. This is coming with check.
Yeah, and mate.
Here it could be something different, but we can't even attack this rook and we can't check. I was wondering about this move, but computer didn't make us prove it. Oh, here you go. You get the endgame, Paul. You're good at these.
All right. B5. A takes B. King B4. Yeah, it's bad. So there's a kind of an idea. Wow, this is So
I feel like we either need to run around and try to win.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at.
Or do we try to just hold this position and draw?
Well, the good news is they've got to try to win. Here's the good news, Matt. It's going around. Here's why. They have to win B4. They can't win C5. So we're going to be right next to B4 until we take A6. So if they have to wait till A6 is killed before they get B4, we're then going to go to B6, and they can't take C5, and we're going to take C6 because they can't defend it.
I think you're right. So it's because our pawn will be defended by the king. Oh, so they don't even go for it.
Yeah, losers.
All right, so here we're down a minor piece and a pawn. But this king is stuck in the middle. This move is really jumping out at me.
Bishop takes c6 jumped out at me, followed by knight e5.
That looks pretty nice too. Their queen could guard their bishop.
Of course, that's true. Oh, we could do knight e5 right now. But then the queen again could still guard the bishop. Oh, you're right. The rook takes is pretty solid.
Oh, this is lined up too. How do we make that work?
Oh, knight takes d. Oh,
Knight d6 check, their queen takes.
Oh, easy, easy, easy. Knight e5 because we're. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the queen was on the F rank. Oh, that's our timer.
I think we should keep going a little, Paul, as long as we're not taking too long.
Let's do it.
All right. Rook takes knight. I really want to make this work. Pawn takes.
You know what it is?
What?
Then it's queen takes with check. Bishop has to block. Oh, but then we have the back rank issue.
But we have this check. Bishop takes knight check.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that very much. Oh, because then... Oh. Oh. So we're going to win that, put him in check, and win the rook in the corner.
Yeah.
With a check as well. And then we can go remove the c1 bishop and defend the back rank. That's it.
Wow, that was deep. Down 4. It's got to be a queen check, right? There's no...
I mean, it's queen d3, just immediate. Because then we're going to win the queen, too.
Oh, they block with bish.
Oh, blocking with the bish.
That's the small wrinkle in the puzzle. But we have a good sequence there.
Block with bish, queen, f3 check maybe, or queen b3 check.
Kind of like b3 because the king has to run this way.
Okay, then rook c4 check. That's mate. Oh, then they block, and then yeah, it's not mate, but it's pretty bad. He's done.
I think that's mate, right?
Probably.
Just a few more arrows.
I'll trust you on that one.
Okay, this time I noticed that we're in check, so we either have to move the king, block, or take. It's gotta be queen takes rook, right?
I mean, yes, 100%.
Okay. So now what's the material count? We're down 1 pawn. Oh, what do we do here?
Yeah, there's no check on. What about rook c d8?
Yeah, because there could be some sort of back rank issue. Rook d8. Queen has to move.
There. Then you go queen e1 check, and then queen has to block, and then queen takes queen mate. Queen takes f1 mate.
That's it. And if rook here, bishop blocks, we can probably line the queen and rook up to win their bishop.
Yeah, you're right.
We're up a pawn. We just gotta hold the fort. Okay, there's a tactical problem for black that jumps out at me right away.
The knight.
The knight barely defended.
Once. Yeah.
But then also these guys lined up.
What about rook e3?
Yeah, I think that's it. Because how does this queen guard the rook and the knight?
It doesn't.
They could do knight check. Oh, but then we do rook takes knight. So here.
Why even that though? Why not just do king? Yeah, because queen can't go to. Oh, okay.
But I think if we do rook takes knight, pawn takes, queen takes, we still got the battery lined up, and now we're winning.
The YOLO.
All right, so we're even material. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. Knight takes bish. Knight takes back. Rook takes knight.
That knight's only guarded by the queen, so we got to figure out a way to deflect the queen.
Oh, good call.
You know how we do that?
This?
Yep. But then queen goes to a. Nope. Done. Take.
Oh, we're guarded.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. Take the rook. Take the knight, I mean.
Okay, that puzzle seemed a lot easier than the last one.
It did. It's okay, Matt. You'll get them wrong sometimes.
I'm not getting over it. King's wide open. What do you think? We're down a lot.
I'm thinking rook c2.
Yeah, same here. If king goes this way, then what?
Queen c5. That way, queen. Oh, I don't like that. We could do queen c6. Bishop takes queen, rook takes queen, but we're down a lot of material.
I was wondering if we put the queen on the diagonal first, like queen b6 check, but then king here, and he kind of can run out to h3. So it feels important to check with rook first. Oh, is it going to be a perpet somehow?
Probably.
Okay, rook here check, king back.
Oh, these are 2,000 rated puzzles. Okay, this makes more sense now.
Okay, here it is. Queen here check, king here, queen here check. There's no block.
Yes.
And we're just going to repeat.
Yep. No, not repeat. We get mate then.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Queen g2 mate. Okay, I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here.
Nope, wrong way. Is it that way? There first. Sick tech.
Yeah, mate was coming. Okay, that looks like a free piece.
Yeah, it does. With guarding the pawn afterwards. What are we missing here? What about
You're going to say that, aren't you?
yeah. No, because I don't like king f4. Oh no, I do. Yeah, the pawn's going guarded, but the rook's guarded by the pawn.
I mean, it's got to be knight check. The fact that it's making us do this move, it's got to be knight check. But I don't know why.
Okay, let's think about this.
Oh,
Rook.
It's like almost a stalemate. Rook takes, rook check. That's the way to avoid the checks. And this king is almost in a stalemate. It's got to be knight check to avoid that.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think it's technically a stalemate puzzle, but it's like there's probably some issue with that. Do we trust the knight check?
Give it a whirl.
Oh, wait, though. Knight check, king here. Knight takes here, they get our pawn. Knight check, king here, rook takes, they get our knight. Now I'm thinking it is rook takes and you walk into what looks almost like a stalemate.
Well, why don't you just march the king towards the rook? Because I'm also worried about that pawn advancing too far.
Oh, true. You're right. You could go this way, block with knight.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it making us do this one? We got to keep this pawn. I guess that's the key to the puzzle.
Why not do... Yeah. Okay.
Check and then this check.
Well, check and then king e4. That kind of sucks.
But then this check.
That check. Oh, yeah. But then he goes to... Oh. Then king there, then knight e4, e5. Okay. That was really stupid.
Yeah, that was tough.
Okay, let's think here.
Even material.
Boy, I really want to trap that queen with rook d8. Problem is, it's like, oh, that's what it is. Queen b6, check. King moves, rook d7, d8. Queen is trapped.
Wow, that was really quick.
Well, as soon as I saw the queen trap, I was just like, oh, because the first move I looked at was the queen diagonal check. So then when I saw the queen trap, I'm like, oh, how do we defend that? How do we force that thing to be defended?
So if you guys want to have your tactics as sharp as Paul, we have a website, chessgoals.com, with study plans. All right. So
or do 1,000 texts a day I did for like the first year.
Yeah, that'll work. On chess.com, where you can get a premium membership for only. Okay, we're down one pawn. There's a lot of stuff coming at the king.
Knight takes h7.
This looks really good.
Yeah, because then we're going to have, if king takes, queen h3 check, king moves, the diagonal is guarded by the bishop, queen to h8 mate.
Or is it a trick? Queen here. The knight hangs, though. But look at this line. Queen here. If h5, queen takes h5. You know how I love queen sacks, Paul?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Pawn takes, bishop is
check.
mate.
Yeah. It's not that, though, because like you said, that thing is hanging.
But I don't want to give up on it that quick, just in case it is something like this.
Okay, what about queen there? Queen takes knight. What about bishop takes pawn then to start? How about that? If it's that way, then queen h3 works.
Oh, wait. You're right. So bishop
but
takes
if it's
maybe.
Pawn takes, then there, again, it works. Because then you do bishop takes h7 check.
King takes.
Queen h3 check.
Can this queen block?
Oh, yeah, I can. I forgot we don't have the dark squared bishop anymore. Over there.
My feeling is knight takes h7 might not be good enough. Oh, Paul.
Is it knight takes f7?
We haven't mentioned the first move yet. But we're
Knight takes f7?
No.
It's not queen takes f7, is it?
It's a queen move that guards the knight and creates the exact same threat. So sometimes, guys, when you see an idea...
Oh, my God. Queen h5.
Yeah, like we just proved that the queen can end up on h5 after the pawn sack. So let's start with it, guarding the knight.
Oh, my God, I just sack it.
Whoa, that was good. All right, about to queen. Is this one yours or mine? I already forget.
I don't remember. Why don't you do it?
Okay. So they're about to queen. We're about to queen. We queen with check, even though we're a move late. We're a move slower. So here, queen, check.
Kind of dope.
If their king goes this way, we got the rook check, and they're going to lose their queen. Because they'll block, take, check. Skewer. So after we queen, if their king goes the other way...
We have queen a7 check.
Oh, yeah, that wins the queen with the skewer. Okay, so what...
No, it doesn't. Then rook blocks on d4, but then you have rook h3 check.
It's complicated, because what if their king runs down?
Then you, Then you take the... So wait. Queen, so a7, g1 queen, a8 queen, check, king e3. What do we start with the... No, then queen a7 check, rook blocks, rook h3 check, king goes... Wherever the king goes, though, the queen can check her. The queen can check him from a diagonal.
I mean, this definitely could be the answer. I kind of want... Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you had it.
I was just going to say, I kind of want to look at maybe inserting a rook check or something first, because I just realized this rook cannot stop our pawn currently. So what if we were able to do like rook g7? Or is that too slow? Maybe it's too slow. I was thinking if rook g7, king here, we take the pawn, king takes, and then we push. They can't stop us.
That's not bad. That's not bad, Matt.
And if here, block.
They got checks. They have checks. Oh, but the only checks, we would hide the king on a2, and there's no more checks for the black. Oh, that's a good point, Matt.
Okay, but what
rook
about
g7?
What about this though?
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Maybe then we push the pawn.
Yeah, I was about to say we push the pawn then. No, yeah.
I actually kind of think this is it. I feel like it's the type of thing that we need. You want to just try it? We're already at 42. Oh, man. It was push the pawn first.
Was it?
Probably. I don't know for sure. We are even material. Okay, I see a little fork here.
Yeah, but I also see a rook barreling down on our queen right now.
True. But let's count the material. Here, queen, bishop, bishop, queen. Even trade.
Well, that's the case. Oh no.
Even trade, right?
Well, here's the
Oh, look at this. Here, take.
What about bishop takes h6?
Right away.
Yeah. We take the queen. They take the queen.
I like that we're on this rook in the corner.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
I feel like that's it. Do you trust me after the last one?
I always trust.
42, not bad, not bad. Do you want to try these or no?
Yeah, I want to see those ones.
Okay.
What did we do wrong here? We got the first one right here.
Remind me, what was the first move?
Yeah, I don't remember. It was like rook.
This queen was overloaded. Oh, we got to hit play. That always throws me off.
Rook there. Yeah, rook. Yeah, there you go.
I did this, which was wrong. Oh, maybe it is king to the corner.
King to the corner.
We were afraid of, or not afraid, but we thought queen g6 was going to happen. I mean, what else is there? This rook take or queen could take, I guess. Oh, is it queen take somehow? No, it can't be queen takes. Can it?
Because you always have the rook coming back to g8 to block.
Yeah, right. So there's no back rank there. And this rook take doesn't make sense. It's got to be king over.
Try it. Sick.
Didn't really make us prove it, but that's okay. All right, here we go. 2300. Pawn. Oh.
Do it.
Play.
Just do it. Like Daddy said. Just like Daddy said.
Oh, what was our answer to this before?
I said that. And remember you kept saying like, oh, it'll go to, I'm like, we'll be able to check on the diagonals no matter what.
I was thinking their queen guarded their rook after this. I don't know why I was thinking that. I didn't realize that rook was free.
I didn't really think it was free, but.
I'm moving too fast. Oh, it's this.
Like a rook? Yeah, is there like a rook g3 check?
I think what happens is we do this and the king's going to get deflected away from the queen.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, there you go.
All right, 2300. I believe it.
What about bishop takes bish, queen takes, knight g4?
Oh, it doesn't seem strong enough.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I just thought of it. I just realized.
Oh, it's queen. I know what it is. It's queen b6.
Yes. And once you see it, it's obvious.
Yeah, it's queen b6.
Because then knight g4 is next. So this bishop is pinned. And it's only a one-move tactic, but that's one you don't see very often. It's a really strong tactic.
Yeah, because knight can't go to, what's it called? Knight can't defend that bishop.
Yeah, so they almost need like rook d3, but then we have knight g4, and this guy's going to die. All right, Paul, that was a good run. We had a couple really tough ones at the end.
Yeah, we did. That's okay, though.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content.
YOLO.